one of my classes so far? Lots of you. Okay, wonderful. We're going to talk about mobile tips and tricks, power user. And you might know that a couple years ago I wrote a book about how to turn your iPad into a genealogy powerhouse, because I started with an iPad. Things have changed a lot, and now I have Android as well, and I realize it's about time for a brand new book, and that is what mobile genealogy is all about. It's expanded. iPad book is about 3 years old at least. This one is totally up to date, has a lot of brand new apps and things that I've started using. It's more in-depth in terms of step-by-step how to do genealogy with your mobile device, and it's covering tablets and smartphones, because really a smartphone is just a small tablet, right? And we're going to cover Android and Apple. So no matter what you have, it'll show you kind of step-by-step. And I wanted to highlight for you some cool things that you can start using right away that'll make your tablet and your smartphone usage a lot more effective and actually a lot more fun. So let's talk about better browsing. Now, I just tossed this out there as a tidbit in my last class. It was the Soothe Your Tech Tummy Ache class, yeah, with 10 tools. And one of them we talked about was Evernote. I'm going to be teaching a Evernote class later today. But in talking about Evernote, we talked about an app called Dolphin. I just kind of threw it out there. It's a web browser. So if you use, let's say, Safari on your Apple device, you might use the Chrome browser. That's typically the one you're doing on Android. You can do some better browsing with Dolphin. Dolphin is free, so go to the App Store, and it's just like Porpoise, but it's Dolphin. And you're going to go and download this app. So how is it better? Evernote Web Clipping is built right in, and I mentioned that in that class. Now, certainly in Safari and Chrome, you can save to Evernote. That's fine, but you have a little more flexibility, and most important, you can tag notes and select notebooks using Dolphin. And you can't always do that when you're working through other apps. Let me show you how. We're going to go to the Dolphin app. Now, I'm clicking the gear button. We've got to set Dolphin up by going to your account to give it permission to talk to Evernote, okay? So you're going to sign in with your free Evernote account. How many of you have Evernote accounts? Lots of you? Okay. It's a note-taking program. Lots and lots of people are using it in genealogy. You can see we're authorizing the OK to send material from the Dolphin browser over to Evernote. Now we're tapping the Share button, and you'll see the elephant. That's the Evernote icon. You know you've got Evernote. I want to save this web page. I can come down here, and I can save just the article, or I can save the entire page, even all the way down where you can't see down below the screen. And that can be difficult to do as well. Tap it, and there it is in my Evernote app. And I can tap the article. I've got the entire clipped article, and it doesn't have all the junk that might have been on the website, like the color bars and the advertisements and all the stuff that you don't need. So now you have a note saved from a website, and it's in Evernote. So now it's on your home computer, because Evernote is a free software. It's in your Evernote app. But Dolphin is really fantastic for doing this. And we didn't show you there, but you can stop and select which notebook would you like it to go into. Do you want to tag it with some keywords, which is really the heart of Evernote organization. So try Dolphin. Now I've got more reasons why I think you're going to want to go swimming with Dolphin. Finding text on page. Did you notice that the web page that I went to, it had a lot of text? And unfortunately, they're not all my folks. So my ancestors are in one line of that whole family that they're talking about. And so when I go even to the web clipping or go to that web page, I don't want to have to read through the whole thing. On your computer, what do? Control F, and then we get that little search box that tells us we can type in a keyword and just, boom, jump to that spot on the page, and that saves time. The key is we can't clone ourselves and we can't make any more time, so we're gonna have to be able to do things more quickly and more efficiently. And certainly finding text is a way to do that. So let's head back to Dolphin and go to this web page. Here's the 3 dots. Find on page. Just type in the name, type in the keyword, and boom, it's gonna pop down and highlight that word or phrase anywhere on this web page, making it so much faster. Yes. 3 dots? Yeah, right up here. It's the 3-dot icon, and that's where you find on page. And there's lots of other tools in there as well. We're actually just highlighting some of my favorites, but there's lots of other things built in as well. So you think you could use that? All right, so now we can find on page on our mobile device. Gestures. Here's another thing. Now, I have nice big hands. I used to play piano, and when I'm doing my little typing, it's kind of challenging, and I end up making more typos than it's worth. If I want to go to a website, gestures speeds it up and simplifies getting to your favorite websites. What we're going to do is we're going to create a little, it might be just one letter or a swoop or a check mark, and each gesture is going to represent one of our favorite websites that you go to on a regular basis. So there are some that are default in Dolphin already. Guess what Google's gesture is? It's a G, right? You can also have in Dolphin multiple tabs. I always have, gosh, 10 tabs open at one time, I think, when I'm researching, right? You've got all these different things going on your desktop. On mobile, you can have tabs in Dolphin as well. To get a new tab really quick, you do gestures in, and boop, you got a new tab, you're ready to go to take another look at a page without losing the one you were working on. But we can also set these up, say, how about an A for ancestry? So let's show you how. In the app, we're going to go back up to the hand. You can see for the gestures. Here's your blank screen. You're just writing on your thing. Now, I did an F, and there's no gestures that are default for the letter F. I'm going to set this up for family search. So you do new gesture, and you type in familysearch.org and draw the F so it knows that's the gesture, and save it. Tap done. Now, when we do a new gesture, F, boom, it opens up a tab, takes you to Family Search, you're done. So no more typing in all those URLs. And you know, this could work really well too. What about the web page that's somewhere deep in a website? Here, let's do another one. There's the default ones. So you can go up a page, down a page. Take advantage, get familiar with these, because they're going to speed up your browsing too as you're maneuvering through pages. You touch your screen, you actually swipe on it, and here's the key, has to be one stroke, okay? We can't, you know, draw words and lift our finger, it's not going to work. So one stroke that you can remember. So if I'm browsing in Dolphin and I get deep into a website that has a nice long URL, I think, oh, I want to keep this page, I want to get there very regularly. When you press and hold on your tablet, right, it highlights it so you can copy it. Go paste that into a new gesture and make a gesture for it. And now you're jumping to a web page that you don't have to remember how to navigate to get there, and you don't have to type it. Yes?
So this works for tablets and such that are not touchscreen. The touch business is built into the Dolphin program.
The touch feature is built into the Dolphin programs, which is asking about.
Any gesture doesn't have to be alphabetical. It just has to be continuous.
Good question. So she's asking, does it have to be an alphabet letter? No, it just has to be a continuous gesture that you can remember. You know, I know, isn't that the trick? You can remember. So it could be a check mark, it could be a minus sign, it could be a 0, it could be numbers. Anything that you can do in a continuous gesture. In fact, you could even have an Evernote note where you log in. What are all your gestures, right? And have that as one of your notes as a cheat sheet. Oh, she's saying you can buy the ad-free Dolphin. Oh, I would. If I had $2.99 in my pocket, I'd do that and not have to mess with all the advertising. Yes. So that's a new feature. It didn't used to be that way. So yes, you can. All right. So do you like the idea, Dolphin? It's kind of neat features. And you know, you get your device and you think, oh, well, I have to use this. But there's so many more. Okay? And by the way, hi to everybody. We're live streaming. Did you know that we have an entire audience around the world joining us for this mobile device? There's lots of people behind you. But they're lucky they're at Roots Tech. But we miss you. All right. Now, we talked about this in my class, but I got to tell all of you because it's too much fun. If you make a mistake on Apple, and I'm so sorry, Android users, but they don't do this yet. Maybe they will add it as a feature, but you know, everything comes in time, doesn't it? You can undo. So I just have to show it to you. Think of your Etch-a-Sketch when you were a kid. If you go, let's say I go to my email, and somebody sends me that picture I've been waiting for. It's my grandparents on the moon. And I want to archive it, and my fingers accidentally hit trash. Stop and shake it. Okay? Take your phone, shake it like this. iPad, 2 hands, shake it, and a little window pops up to say undo. Tap undo, that email pops right back into inbox where it was supposed to be. Let's start over. I kind of like the idea of taking away the fear and anxiety of the iPad, that nothing is unfixable, okay? And undo works in most anything that you use of the apps, and not just in Gmail. If I'm typing and I mess up, I can shake and undo. Oh, I sit there in the airport and I'm typing up, and people are like, what? Are you waving at me? What are you doing? You know, I'm Etch-a-Sketching. So that's kind of a neat feature built in, but they don't put that on the front home screen, do they, tell you? All right. Typing text, or text typing. Again, what can I do to avoid more errors, speed things up? And my lovely daughter, Lacey, who's here with us at Roots Tech, she is the master texter, okay? She can thumb text faster than anybody I know. And I got to thinking, wow, she's really fast on that. And one of the hard parts about your tablet is when you're typing, you have to have one hand for the holding it, one hand for the typing it, and then you put it on your lap, and it's so slick, it goes flying. My first iPad has a big crack in it, because it slid right off my lap onto a tile floor. So it would be really advantageous, I was thinking, to hold this. So I went and did some snooping. This is not an original idea. You can split your keyboard to text. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Notes app, and I click for a new note. See the keyboard? Put your thumbs in the middle and swipe out, and it will split the keyboard. Now you can hold your iPad with 2 hands, and you can thumb text. You know, and you're not texting, but you're typing. But you can actually reach everything. To get it put back together, stick your thumbs on the outside of the keyboard and swipe in. Okay? So if you have an iPad, you ought to give that a shot. I thought about charging to explain how to put it back together. But I'm a nice guy, I'm not going to do that. So, kind of neat. You can hang on to it, keep it secure, and be able to do your typing. Well, back a couple years ago when I wrote the first book, Android didn't have this, but now they do. In your keyboard on Android, you'll notice by the language and the space bar, there's a little gear key. If you tap and hold it, you actually have a menu of keys hidden in your Android keyboard. One of those is this one. And what it looks like, for those of you online too, it looks like your tablet, and then it looks like a second tablet laid behind it. And the idea is it's split. So tap this one, and you can split your Android keyboard and do the same exact thing. The book is really jam-packed with these kinds of tips. It's stuff that I'm hoping you'll find speeds up your time and makes you have more success with your iPad. Here's another tip that I have used. In fact, my daughter told me about it because I travel so much. When you're traveling, have you always remembered to plug in your tablet or your iPhone at night before you go to bed? And then you get up and you go, oh darn, I'm down to 20% and I've only got a half an hour till breakfast and I didn't charge this overnight. Just to charge faster, go to airplane mode. So yeah, she's like, what? Swipe up like on the bottom of the iPad to get to your settings and tap airplane mode. That stops all the background processing. And that means no processing, not so much battery. And that allows it to charge faster. I've been amazed how quickly I can get my phone back up and running, at least to a reasonable level until I get to a plug, right? So that's just another idea. Here's another tip. Now I talk about this in depth in the book, but I'll give it to you. Can you guys write this down? Yes. App Advice. And they have, I think it's called, App Advice is the website. And if you put App Advice in your app store, there's an app that gives you free apps Apps Gone Free. Thank you. Great. Apps Gone Free. Every morning when I wake up, before I even get out of bed, I go to Apps Gone Free and I look through and they'll have 4 to 5 apps that normally cost anywhere from $3 to $15, and they put them on sale for $0. They're free, and they're usually free for at least 24 hours, depends how many people download them, and up to about 4 days. And you can also, when you go to the app, look at today's and then go back the last couple of days and you'll see which ones are still available for free. Not only have I gotten some terrific apps, and that's how I discover some of the ones that I talk about. Got grandkids, kids, moms. I have found some of the coolest apps and I've gotten them for free, and I just drop them in my little grandkids folder on my iPad. All your grandkids have folders on their iPads, right? Mine do, and they know exactly how to run them. So Apps Gone Free is a really great way to save money and have a morning check-in to see what you can download for free. All right, our time's up, but thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for everybody who joined us here live on Periscope as well. Talk to you guys later.